Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones. I am the chairman of the Fire and EMS Committee and also the chairman of the Board of Commissioners. And I would like to call this June 7th, 2022, 2 p.m. Fire and EMS Committee meeting to order. Certainly, we'll start off by acknowledging who's present today. And I'll start off with myself, Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, and then I'll go around the computer. It's hard to see it, and certainly the vice chairman, which is Commissioner Ann Jones Guider, who's the vice chairman of the committee. So, and then I'll just pick up, allow you to introduce yourself as well, Commissioner Guider. I don't want to just take over and then go around the virtual room. You still, your computer is, your mic, there you go.
Yes, I'm Ann Jones Guider. I'm District 4 Commissioner, and I'm Vice Chair of this committee, the Fire and EMS.
Okay, thank you. Fire Chief.
Fire Chief Roderick Jolivet, Douglas County Fire and EMS.
Deputy Chief Miles Allen, Deputy Chief of Operations, Douglas County Fire.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Chief. Next.
Stacy Farmer, EMS Chief, Douglas County Fire Department.
Thank you, EMS Chief.
Frederick Perry, Deputy County Administrator.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
John Reed.
Don Reed, Terminus, Representative David Corbin.
Okay, thank you. Rosalind Miller.
Rosalind Miller, Finance.
Okay, I believe. Do we have Deputy Chief Lugo still on here?
Deputy Chief Lugo is in Maryland. EFO, he's not available. Chief Phillips is not available.
Okay, all right. Well, that's roll call, but we do have a quorum that's present. All right, we have the approval of the minutes. We have a special call meeting minutes of May 27, 2022. I hope everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes. It was quite thorough and well done, so thank you. I know Paula Austin, I'm not sure if you had a chance to meet the person that actually took the minutes. I want to be respectful to who took the minutes or recorded the minutes. They did a great job.
That's Paula.
Paula, okay, Paula, thank you so much. You've had an opportunity to review the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the May 27th special call minutes, meeting minutes? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion about any particular items on the minute, within the minutes?
Madam Chair, I was absent from the meeting. I have read the minutes, so
Okay.
I accept.
Okay. All right. Well, what we'll do if you approve the minutes, certainly I'll go around the room and you can state accordingly. Ramona Jackson Jones, I do approve the minutes.
Ann Jones Guider, I approve.
Roderick Jolivet, approved.
Mm-hmm.
Chief, Deputy Chief Miles Allen, approved.
Okay.
Frederick Perry, approved.
Okay.
EMS Chief Stacy Farmer, approved.
Mm-hmm.
John Reed, approved.
Thank you.
Rosalind Miller, approved.
Okay. We have a unanimous vote and of approval, and the motion carries. So the minutes have been approved accordingly. All right, old business. Well, what I'm going to do is yield to our fire chief, Joe, and he'll take it from here because he may have some old business. I don't see any that's been documented on the agenda, but he may have something to bring up that we're not aware of. Fire chief, I turn this meeting over to you at this
Thank
time.
you, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Guider, Deputy Chief Perry, the panel, and also the citizens. Thank you for allowing us to serve you. We'll jump right into the new business. Everything is moving at a fast pace, and we're excited over here at the fire department. So new business item number one is evaluation of facilities. And that kind of ties into one and two together. budget preparation 2023. What we're doing, Chief Miles Allen is going to give us an update on our evaluation process, our facilities, and how it ties into the budget in terms of how we're planning to enhance our facilities. Go ahead, Chief Allen, on that 1 and 2. I think you might be muted, Chief.
I apologize. Good afternoon, everyone. So an evaluation of the facilities that we do within the fire department is we take into consideration everything that we look at within the fire department, from safety aspects to the needs to living conditions, things of that nature. So we have done, and we're still in a continuous process of evaluating each and every fire station as far as the usefulness, the upkeep, the maintenance, the daily inspections, things of that nature. And that ties into our budget and how we maintain the effectiveness of what we do on a daily basis. Chief?
And just to add to it, we're working on Station 8 as we speak. We're getting ready for a very grand occasion. You want to speak about that, Chief Al?
Yes, so we're gonna we're getting the dates together for the next wet down push-in of a new vehicle that goes into Station 8. And just as we did with Station 1 in Lithia Springs, for Station 8 that's located in Mirror Lake area, the Villa Rica area, we're in the process of going through the process of cleaning, painting, getting the landscape and everything together. We're doing that with all the stations. But with this one, there's going to be a little bit more attention to detail because of the event that we have planned for it. So yours truly is going to be a part of doing the painting, and it's going to be a full hands-on deck approach to making sure that this station, along with each and every other station, is done the same way.
Hey, any questions on new business item 1 and 2?
I'm sorry, say again, sir?
I was just asking if the panel have any questions, committee have any questions on new business item 1 and 2?
I have a question regarding the evaluation of facilities. Deputy Chief, when part of your assessment and also your staff's assessment, are we looking at purchasing the furniture, couches? You know, after a while, when you sit on a couch forever, it starts wearing down. So what are you, new beds, the mattresses, after a while, just they leave you after 5 or 6 years, is it? The body has just beat them down. So can you explain, are we gonna do that as well?
Yes, ma'am. We're taking this as a holistic 360-degree approach. So we're looking at everything from the hard surfaces, the hard structure of the facilities, to all of the movable pieces, which include furniture, appliances, everything all the way down to plates and forks, spoons, and knives.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So it's not just the 4 walls, but the nails and screws that go into the walls also.
Okay. Because I know our firemen and our EMS staff spend a significant amount of their life there, and you know we have the appropriate bedrooms and everything for them. But I don't know about you, but a bad mattress just ruins my day. So that's why, you know, because you're really hurting from sleeping. I want them to be at least in good shape, and those mattresses can make or break you. So thank you for, you said from even to the spoons and the forks, you're going that serious. So that's great. You want the dishes and all that. Okay. So it's going to really be a whole renovation process of a makeover, complete makeover. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all's due diligence on that.
And just to,
All right.
just to add to it, we getting all our crew members involved with the buy-in of it. They get an opportunity to make decisions, have input, and that's really helping. So they're doing other things other than running calls. They're helping with the process. So it's a good motivational tool for everybody.
That's great. So they're involved, and
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Sleep on all work. Okay, the mattresses and so on and so forth. Okay.
All right, well, any other questions? We'll move on to, number 3. Chief Farmer will speak on the EMS community response protocol that we're doing. We got a new protocol to take care of our community. You want to say a few things about that, Chief Farmer?
Absolutely. We've got 2 things that are rolling out this week. Number 1 is we're updating our response model. We're starting it on B shift, and this is the transition to where our paramedics will be moving to our non-transport units into a QRV, with the ambulances staying ALS, but at the AEMT level. So we're really excited about that. It's been a long time coming. And so that's going to be a really good update. The other thing that we've done has been a proactive approach, and we've updated our safe transport guidelines. So one of the things that our medical director is responsible for doing is he decides what is considered our referral area and what hospitals we transport to. And one of the things that we've been running into consistently throughout COVID until today, even is our extended wall times at the hospital, the increased use of 911 for non-emergency needs, and not really being able to rely on our mutual aid partners because they're experiencing the same type of issues and concerns that we're having. So we really have had to look at some alternatives. And what we're doing with our transport guideline is we are saying that our hospitals are going to be kept more closer to home unless there's a need to go outside of the community. So if you're needing emergency services, you need to go to the ER, but it's something that could be treated in any emergency department, then we will be transporting you to the closest ER versus taking an extended trip to Northside, for example. For us, that's about a 2.5 hour turnaround call if we're transporting someone to Northside. So for specialty care, we of course will still transport to specialty care facilities, our burn, our stroke centers, trauma centers, children's centers. But other than those specialty needs, we're looking at transporting to the closest facility. So those 2 things should be a really big, be a big benefit to the community, making sure those resources are there when someone calls 911.
Now, to add to that, Chief Farmer, tell us about the approach we're taking with the community as far as our community engagement, paramedicine, educating,
Yes.
community. Speak of that just quickly.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too. So another thing that we started this week was our social media and outreach campaign to the community. One of the things that we find is communities and people that are utilizing the 911 service are using it in a different fashion than what it was intended for many, many years ago. And so we want to make sure that there's a connection between the services that we provide and we can provide and the requests for services that are coming in through 911. So you'll be seeing social media campaigns and outreach, some initiatives as far as when to call 911 and when alternatives such as telehealth, urgent care facilities like that would be more appropriate and beneficial. So that's been real good.
I think you're muted, Chief.
Chief, I think you muted.
Oh, okay.
There you are.
Any questions to Chief Farmer? And also, just the last thing I want to say about that is Deputy Chief Lugo is up at the National Fire Academy.
Mm-hmm.
He is networking with responders across the country, and they're talking about their best practices and things that the industries are doing, and he's just excited. He's emailing and sending pictures and things like that. So we're not only looking at our challenges, but also around the country. So it's going to be very helpful when he come back to share. And of course, we're doing really well compared to the people he was talking to. So we're looking forward to him coming back for our paramedicine and community engagement.
Okay.
Any questions for Chief Farmer before she goes to station on number 4?
I do. Chief Farmer, you mentioned QRVs. Have those vehicles arrived? I know Commissioner Guy and I have asked about those.
I wish
We all back order.
They are 2 years. I was actually talking to Doug Turner, which does our vehicles last week. 2 years is what's on his list. It's insane. What we've done though is we've taken one of our older model SUVs and equipped it out so that we can at least get this program off the ground with what we've got internally. It may not be the perfect situation, but at least we can get that program started. So.
Okay. And then also you mentioned, Chief Farmer, that we would be utilizing, you say local close hospitals in close proximity. So are we leaning on Douglas, Wellstar, and Tanner? Is that what you're primarily just?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So whichever hospital that patient is closest to, that would be the facility that we would transport to, unless of course somebody needs specialty services.
Now, like you mentioned, Northside, that's primarily for women delivering babies and so on, things OB related. But we do have a neonatal center here in Douglas County now, which we do have. It's not that, well, probably 4 or 5 beds, but also we have the ability for high risk pregnancy. So is that helping take some of the pressure off that Northside travel, or?
We don't do a ton of OB. You know, usually they've planned that out, and so unless they're having an emergency related to delivery or pregnancy, we don't get a lot of OB calls in general. It really, when we are looking at Northside Transport, it's patients who just feel more comfortable there or have lived in that area and then moved out to Douglas County and relocated that want to be transported back. That's typically where we get the request to go to Northside.
Do you go to Cobb? Do you go to Cobb?
We do. Now, under this new SOG for safe transport, we would look at Cobb if it's the closest facility. So that would be more of our Lithia Springs area, maybe into, kind of that end of the county.
Yeah.
To look at for Cobb, yes, ma'am.
And they have a birthing center there too, just a minute.
Yeah, Northside is quite a distance. Then I have one final question, and I want to yield to the vice chairman of this committee, because I'm quite sure she have some questions as well. I have one more. It's regarding a dashboard type effect. When you all are looking at reducing your extended time on the wall time, do you have some type of communication system that you can look within on a dashboard and see that Tanner ER is not as busy as Douglas ER, so you'll know which one to go to rather than to go to the wrong one to reduce your wall time?
We do. That's one thing the state office of EMS did, was they put together a program, and it's a program you can get on the app on your phone, so our units can have it. Our 911 has access to it and uses it every day. And basically, it'll tell you who's on diversion, who's on ER saturated, just kind of hits at one time.
Okay, thank you. That's excellent. Vice Chairman of the committee, if you have any questions.
I had read something that the hospitals are at capacity with heart attacks, blood clots, all these things. And they're seeing a lot more traffic now than they have in the past. Are you seeing that?
Our call volumes, we had a little bit of a dip for a couple of months, and then we're back now to what we were pre-COVID. So our numbers have remained pretty consistent. We got really busy for a while, took a little bit of a dip, and now we're trending about normal. The wait time, some of it is related to the traffic that's coming into the hospitals, but the other thing that they're really having issues with is shortages. So when you look at patient to nurse ratios, sometimes the rooms will be shut down, not because of overflow of patients, but because they don't have the staff to manage those rooms. So it's kind of a double whammy for them. And, they're doing the best they can. We recognize that. We got to work together and make sure that we're able to get our patients offloaded at the ER. And sometimes these wait times to get a bed can be in excess of an hour. So we're really working with Julia Bossy. She's the new nurse manager at Wellstar. She has been a huge advocate and a big help for us with the wall times.
Oh, excellent.
But I do know too that a lot of hospitals had the policy that if you didn't have the vaccination, you had to lose your job and stuff. You had to lose your job and stuff like that. So has there been any talk about lifting that so they can get their staff back?
Not that I'm aware of. They're still using a good bit of agency nurses, and they did pick up a couple of nurses from, it was one of the Wellstar hospitals that just went to urgent care and stopped doing emergency room. So they picked up a couple of staff from there, and they've got the travel nurses. I haven't heard any talk about stopping the mandate for the vaccines.
Well, that's their policy. So sometimes they create their own problems. But
That's true.
I was going to ask on the minutes, it referred to Station 9. This is off the wall. We referred about we were going to be taking some of the 2016 splosh monies to help pay. Y'all know what that amount was? It's not in the minutes. Is anybody?
Yeah, I'll answer. I'll try to answer.
If you can get that information, it doesn't have to be right now. I just wanted to write it in. So,
Okay, I get that. I get that for you.
all right.
They have the document.
Also, I was going to say, my husband was a professional painter. He worked around the Buckhead area and everything, but he's got all kinds of tools, sheetrock screws, ladders, sheetrock pans, and extended handles for painting. So if y'all need anything like that, you can ask me. I'll be glad to get donated.
Yes, ma'am. That'd be real helpful to us.
All right, thank you. And now you're back.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Yes, Chief, you have the floor again.
Okay, we just want to, for counter time to Chief Farmer, we're talking about the EMS. You want to go ahead and take forward, Chief Farmer? COVID-19 update?
Oh, yes. COVID-19 update. Our numbers ticked up a little bit in May. May we had 25 patients that we transported. The 2 previous months we've been running 2 to 6 patients, so it's been very minimal. We've only had 1 employee that's tested positive last month. So the numbers are still low. The county spread is 1.4%. So we're still low as far as infection spread, but we are on an uptick. So we'll see how that trends out.
And we still encouraging our personnel to use precaution and also so we can take care of the patients and as well as ourselves. And also we continue our cautious status. Any questions? We'll go on to number 5. Ms. Jenny Eskenberg will talk to us a little bit about our personnel update, new hires, and I'll kind of pitch you to help her out there.
Yeah, I have from May, we had 2 full-time new hires. We had 1 part-time new hire.
Awesome. And speaking of the new hires, every pay period, we've been fortunate enough to bring on some qualified personnel. Matter of fact, we got a call, I think it was yesterday. Chief Farmer, you still there? We got a call yesterday. Tell them about that exciting news.
So we have a new hire paramedic that worked with us a couple years ago, did very well, left for a little bit, and wants to come back. So we're excited to have him on board, and we're looking at the 27th to have him return. So that's good news.
That's great news. Anytime you're bringing on paramedics and EMTA, advanced and stuff like that, that's good. You know, with everybody hiring around us. So, yes, sir. So that was, and he's eager to start work, so we're eager to bring him aboard so he can help out. In terms of overall personnel, we almost are in the teens of positions. You know, I've seen it at 45, 50 spots. Now we're down to roughly 20 to 19 spots. So we're constantly working on our retention and working on our personnel. So we're excited about that. And one thing about it, we're trying to build a resilient team. And by doing that and taking care of our personnel, building relationships, we're able to sustain our workforce and try to continue to get better. And Jenny will say a few things about that, and we'll move on to number 6. Go ahead, Jenny. Talk about our resiliency and what we're trying to do to build relationships to help people.
Well, just trying to put some of the best people around, pull them in. And I was very impressed, and the chief always knows I'm always thanking him for taking the chance on me and bringing me over and adding me to his team. I'm so excited always the different things that are going on around here. I don't know that the community knows that during COVID and so many things were going on. A lot of folks had left here. So many different agencies lost a lot of people. I think that speaks going back also to some of the shortages in the hospitals as well. There have been just staffing issues in a lot of places. And Chief recently has reached out to a lot of folks that left in good standing, sending out letters saying, you know, if you're interested in coming back, please come back. And it's just always impressive to work with Fire Chief Jolivet, using all the resources available, and thinking outside the box. Always very impressive.
And I get that from my chairwoman, my deputy director Perry, Mr. Guider. We have a wonderful team all the way around. So we just want to share that, man. We're excited about it, and we just want to share that with the community and with our panel, and we just continue to do what we can to make Douglas County the best county in the United States, not only in Georgia. All right. So, any questions from the committee, or we'll move on?
No, it was a great update, and thank you so much, Jenny. And we appreciate your contribution so far, and know you will do great things in the fire and EMS department. It's very interesting. There's a lot going on. That's all I can say. It's quite a bit. I wanted to pivot back to Chief Farmer for just a second. Chief Farmer, are we still in heightened mode for as using the foggers and all the disinfection techniques in your ambulances and things like that for transporting our patients? So we're not backing down. We're still 100% right.
And I don't know that we'll ever go back to pre-COVID as far as that goes. You know, you get in that mindset, and that's what we're doing.
Okay. So we just call it universal precautions.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you. So we're staying there. Okay. That gives me a sense of comfort. Thank you. I yield back to you, Chief, and thank you so much, Chief Farmer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll go on to item number 6, which is EMA update. Mr. Mulholland, they have some things going on today, and we'll pitch it for basically EMA is strong. We prepared. We meet once a week, and we talk about issues that are affecting the United States and affect us in Georgia. And one thing that we're doing is we're going to be doing more training, live training, to address some of the issues that are affecting communities across the country. And we talked about it. We've done it in the past. We're going to blow the dust off and make sure that, because our main thing was a lot of the players have changed. So we want to make sure that all the new members that have joined Douglas County will be aware of what's going on and how to respond in case of some type of emergency, whether it be large scale or small scale. So we're actually next week we have a planning session set up where we'll be going back through the EMA portals and the web EOC and stuff like that, so we can make sure that we're on board with all the latest technologies and trends. And we do have a new member on the EMA team that we'll get a chance to meet soon. She came in from FEMA, excited. She is a planner and also deal with exercises on large scale, so we're excited about that. So EMA just want me to update everybody on that, and we're looking forward to this season. It's a season of Mother Nature, so we're going to be prepared and make sure we do the things we can do to take care of our citizens. Any questions for EMA?
I guess I'm like a radio. Every time you ask if there are any questions, I turn myself on. But I just had one question again regarding the EMA and the EMS portion. Certainly, Chief Farmer, this applies to you as well. I just want to know if you and Director Mulholland, are you all engaging with the hospitals? And because we have quite a few exercises, like the disaster preparedness exercises with the hospitals. are you all aligned with that, the group? Certainly the command centers are within the hospitals, but do we have communication alignment? Can you speak to that just to give myself and Commissioner Ryder some type of awareness or comfort at this?
We met with them 2 or 3 weeks ago. They're doing an active shooter drill coming up in Chief, is a month or two. I'd have to look at the calendar, but we had the pre-planning meeting with them, and we're partnering with the ED branch head of the ED and with PD, and that's our next exercise with them is for an active shooter drill. So we work with them pretty well.
Okay. All right, that's good. Commissioner Guy, do you have any questions regarding this? I'm just trying to make sure we're just prepared for whatever comes on our plate. She didn't have any. She may have stepped away. Okay, Chief, you have the floor.
All right, and the last thing, EMA is we're working with our school system to make sure that they have all the courses they need and the training they need, courses, so we can communicate and deal with any issues that school may have. So we're actively engaging the school police, Chief Whaley, and we're working with their officers of training, EMA and everything. So we're excited about it, and we're going to continue to be prepared. The next thing, one of the questions is E911 update. Director Harley, first of all, I'd like to congratulate her on the award she received recently. And E911 is in the process of looking at their backup system as well as their current system, and they're working on training their employees and trying to retain employees as well as recruit employees. So they have some initiatives that they're working on, and right now they're doing a lot of things with employees for retention, as having picnics, input surveys, and it's paying off. And we're working close together with some new initiatives that they have coming down the pipe. So she's not able to be here right now, but she's very excited and got the whole team excited. And as well, like I said, we meet once a week, and then we have different sessions during the week where we try to improve our 911 system. So they are the first responders. She want me to let everybody know that they are the first responders. It all happens. It all starts there and ends there. And like Chief Farmer was saying, they've been really helpful with us as far as our new models that we roll out for EMS. We have to brief them on it so we can work together to make sure it's a smooth transition. So 911 is in good. They're doing good under Director Harley, and we're excited to be a part of that team. Any questions on E911? All right, we'll move right along. No questions to Miss Melissa Laredo. We'll talk about the Blaze newsletter. She had to put her name on it because it was such a good newsletter, you know. So she said, "Let me put my name on this newsletter." So go ahead, Melissa.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So I just want to update everyone. The monthly newsletter did go out on social media and did go out on our county website as well for the month of May. So we did have that go out. It is on our county website at celebratedouglascounty.com. It's under services, fire emergency services, and we have Blaze newsletter section where all our issues go in. We have a lot of information on there where you could call volume totals, important information, 911 and EMA. We also have information from our EMS chief farmer, our deputy chiefs, a field overview of our battalion chiefs, and we have much more. So that's all I have for now. We did have our previous month, the commissioner corner, section for Madam Chair as well, at the beginning of the newsletter. So that's all we have updated with the newsletter. Any questions?
Oh, you mentioned the commissioner's corner. What, can you tell us about that again?
Yes. So the commissioner corner, we have a couple pages of what we just put in, just like a biography for now. If the commissioners wants to put in a little bit more information, we can have that and put it every month. But right now we just have the biography and just a little bit of information about each district commissioner.
Awesome.
Yes, chief.
All right, well, go Blaze.
Yes.
The next item, Melissa, is up for that, talking about the ambulance billing. She always brings good news. So, Melissa, you want to take the ambulance billing?
Yes. So, of May, we had 1,682 responses, and out of those responses, we had a total of 905 transports, averaging about 54 calls a day. Comparing May with the month of April, we had over 100 more transports and 150 more responses, giving us about 12% on our transports the month of May and the month of April. We pulled in over 256,000 for the month of May, giving us a current total revenue of over $1,213,762 for our ambulance billing.
Now, I know that Chief Farmer can speak on this as well. Chief Farmer and Melissa is working behind the scenes to recover and get our funds, get our totals up. Ms. Farmer, you want to speak on that just a minute?
Sure. We have a meeting tomorrow, as a matter of fact, with our billing company and our collections, our third-party collections agency. The revenue that's coming in is great, but what we want to kind of focus on is our days in AR, what the denial rates are, and what the collection rates are. So we're doing great, but we've got a lot of room to grow, and that's the part that we want to focus on and make sure that we are getting the full amount of reimbursement that we're due for the services we're providing. And right now there's a little bit of a gap. And so that meeting tomorrow hopefully is going to get some resolution.
And how did that tie into the new response model in terms of ambulances and the things that we're doing?
As far as the billing, it's not really going to change anything as far as the fees or the fee schedule. We have looked at upping the fees as far as for services that we provide. We're on the lower end of what other departments are doing in the region. When you look at reimbursement, Medicare, reasonable and customary, we're kind of on track. So really, you would just be writing off more. Looking at our demographics of who is using 911 the most. The biggest thing is just making sure that the documentation is good, that they're moving it at the speed that they should be moving it through the system. But we've got a good bit of our calls that are sitting in AR for 100 days, and we've got some improvement we could do there for sure with our billing company. And when we look at our collection rate last month, our collection rate was 49%. We want to target 80s. We want to be in the 80%, and it's obtainable and it's reasonable and realistic. But I think that oversight piece, we just need to step it up. And now, now we've got somebody in a role that can do that. So that has, is dedicated for that purpose. So we'll be making sure that we're hitting those benchmarks and focusing on the percentages, not just what we're actually bringing in for reimbursement.
And also, before questions, is our availability for units. That's what the new model is going to do. It's going to give us more availability units for our citizens, and we'll be able to meet the needs. And of course, that's going to help us out tremendously. So we'll open up for questions from our committee in regards to our ambulance billing and what we got going on.
Commissioner Guy. Got it.
On the billing, you indicated we were low to in comparison to surrounding counties. Should we raise them up a little bit? You're saying we're collecting whatever Medicaid or Medicare will pay right now. Oh, but is that's way below what it really costs. Believe me, I know.
Oh, it is. It is. That's one of the things that the chief has tasked us with too, is we're really counting the numbers and looking at the budget and how much does it really cost to make sure that the reimbursement rates are set appropriately. Looking at some other services, we're looking at base rates of 1,500, depending on how they're coded out. So we're looking at base rates. There's some that are 1,000, some at 1,500 for ALS and BLS emergency responses, and we're running between 400 to 600 for our. Right. And so the only thing we'd have to consider, we can definitely look at raising those rates, is a lot of the insurance companies will only pay what Medicare and Medicaid consider reasonable and customary, which is around 300. And so it would just increase the amount that we're writing off. So as long as we know that up front, and that's not going to be an issue with the percentage of, what we're writing off, then that would be fine. But a lot of times what you charge and what the insurance companies will pay is two totally different things.
I know. I remember I had to pay just for transport from my husband from Grady over to a rehab over in Coweta County, and it was over $3,000 something.
It's expensive.
So, yeah, but if you might want to do, you've already done a study, evidently, or a survey of surrounding counties. Maybe we could ease it up a little bit.
That's true.
And $50, something like that, and see. But $400 is just way off base. And most people's you're saying the insurance will only pay what Medicare or Medicaid pays?
A good bit of them, your big players like Anthem, ones like that, a lot of times they're going to lock you into whatever Medicare and Medicaid say is reasonable for our area, and then they kind of code you out. One of the things I have mentioned to the chief, and I don't have the final numbers to give a definite, this is what we would recommend to this committee, but there's also a probable need for response fees. The way that communities in general utilize 911 is not like it used to be, and there are a large percentage of time, so we're looking at 30% at least when we respond to the call. We may even use some of our equipment if we can't recoup any reimbursement. For example, we go out on a diabetic patient, we give them glucagon, which costs over $200. We may start an IV, we may give them B50, and right now there's not a mechanism to bill for that. So that's we're eating that.
I think we need to look at that though, because that's a little different when we're using our material and everything, our medicines and just sending the truck out there. Sometimes, and someone told me this a long time ago, that most of the calls are unnecessary, and we don't charge for any of those. Someone cut their finger or something like that, or whatever, and then if we don't transport, we can't charge.
That's correct. Now, Anthem and some of the bigger players, they will reimburse now for a response fee. In our region, that is.
Do we charge that?
We don't now, and that's one of the things that Chief and I have been discussing. But he wants some more data. We're working on that, and to give you a good number, regionally, we're looking at 75 as kind of being the norm, $75 response fee. But it's going to do a couple of things for us. Number one, it'll allow us to recoup for medications and for things that for consumable supplies that we're using and gas and things like that. And number two, the patients that use the 911 service for things other than a non-emergency need, it's a little bit of an incentive to them to say, hey, maybe we could look at, other services or other means for what we're calling 911 for now. For example, blood pressure check. We have some patients that will call to have their blood pressure checked. These patients are ambulatory. They get out in the community. They do their grocery shopping. So it's not an issue of not being able to get out. It's just sometimes it's just education and knowing what the 911 services are for. That's a piece of it too. So
I'm sorry, will the quick response vehicle, the paramedics and that, would they be able to take care of a lot of that?
They can do
Like
some.
cheaper than send a big ambulance or a team of ambulance and the truck.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're working with education too, and you know, there's a lot of services that are available to people in the community that just don't know is available to them. So some of this is education to make sure they get the right services for what their needs are.
Also, if say that a station gets a call to go somewhere, is there any personnel left at that fire station in case of somebody needing that they think they're having a heart attack and they go to the local fire station?
It's everyone responds to those calls.
Well, sometimes there may be an ambulance that go out and then the engine company be there, but it just all depends on the type of call.
Yeah, because I talked to you about such a case, and I assume you got with that lady about that. Her son was having a heart attack, but they went to this fire station to see if that was the case, and no one was there because they were out on a call. So that's why I asked that question.
Yes.
Kind of leaves us, the public or the community, unprotected, or
That's what.
And I know that's personnel. I mean, personnel problems too.
Yeah. Also, the new model is going to help with some of that, and along with the QRVs, but we're going to have more response units available and shorter. Like if they leave one station and go all the way to Grady, then that leaves more stress on the other units and also the community. So this new model is going to help with that, having units available in service. So it's not perfect, but it's a definite step in the right direction to make sure we have units for our personnel.
I just wonder if we could just have a crew for long transport.
We're also looking at that too. Once we get fully staffed, we're looking at some transport units. And that's all they'll do is transport.
They don't go out on emergency calls.
Right.
They're just there to transport, and that frees up the people that are for the emergencies.
Yes, we definitely discussing that as well.
Okay. I yield.
I had a question for Chief Farmer. Chief, you were mentioning earlier about not being able to bill for certain items, and I remember in healthcare when Pittsburgh, the Healthcare Financing Administration was over. The same thing as Medicaid. Now it's CMS. Said everything we could not bill for bedpans and urinals, things like that, because it says it has to be reasonable and customary. So at that particular time in surgery and other areas of the hospital facilities, we considered bundling our charges. We bundled everything and just make it one flat fee. Have we started that, or so it was a bundled charge? Have we looked at that? And is there something we may want to consider?
It's a little bit frustrating, to be honest with you, with transport units in general. The ICD-9 codes that they provide for us to bill off of, they only give us 2 codes for emergency. You can bill at BLS 1 or an ALS 1, and you cannot bill. They bundle. They're assuming that the fee that they're providing you is bundling in the resources or supplies that you may be using for that transport. It's not anywhere near.
It's not covering the cost.
No, they're looking at costs from 1980s. It's nowhere near what we're looking at now. Nowhere near.
Do we have an idea who handles those charges, those costs? Is it state level, federal level?
Federal.
Wow.
That's CMS. Yeah, they were supposed to, before COVID came out, they were supposed to have an update to their fee schedule. I still have not seen it.
Okay, so updated to the CMS schedule. That's the problem. Okay. Okay. You answered my question. Oh, on those contractual write-offs. So right now you're just writing things off if you cannot bill for it, correct?
The billing department does, yes, ma'am.
May I ask a question? Can I ask one more question?
I'm done. I'm finished.
Did y'all see an uptick in overdoses, or is it down?
Overdoses is steady. We give Narcan, which we only give Narcan to someone who's having trouble breathing. We give Narcan about every 3 days. So that's someone that's overdosed to the point that it's affected their ability to breathe. So overdose is a real concern for our community. We actually put in a grant, Chief and I did about a month or two to help with behavioral health and addiction, substance abuse problems because it is so prevalent. So the other thing in our community, which goes back to education, we've been pushing this out too. In Douglas County, half the people that are actively having a heart attack don't call 911; they drive themselves to the hospital.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's hard data, and that is consistent. So that's another push we're trying to get people to know there are things that we can do that can help save your heart and your brain and can save lives, and when to call us and when we can make a difference.
Well, we might want to utilize YouTube to do short films about
That's a good idea.
tips. You know, if you think you're having a heart attack, do not drive, call 911 or something like that.
Yes.
I know that I think the county's going to start doing commercials out there. So we've got a filming group. We could do a commercial.
That would be great. It's
And
needed.
we're going to talk to communications about that.
It's definitely needed.
Okay.
Now the other thing is in terms of billing and all is with our thanks to the commission for giving us some extra funds to lighten up our inventory. We're looking at investing in systems and technology that will help us take care of the taxpayers' resources, and what we're doing is we got new cabinets out of every station. Chief Farmer went out. We're doing a good inventory. We're looking at how we dispense medication, and that's helping us out tremendously. And Jenny take care of our financial stuff. We already gonna start to plan for saving. And Chief Farmer, last, you want to speak about that? And after Chief Farmer speak, we'll go into May events by Jody Newton.
We've been running monthly reports on what our spend is for our EMS consumables and our oxygen. One of the biggest savings we found is in our air gas contract. So we're actively working that now and getting that reworked. So we're talking $10,000 to $15,000 that we'll be able to save for the rest of the year for the air gas contract. And then for our consumables, it's really our crews have done great. We've worked with them as far as just education, making sure you're pulling equipment out when you need it, you're not opening it unnecessarily, things like that, and then just better accountability is for the biggest piece. So
we're excited about that. All right, we'll move on to last item, number 10.
Before we get to that last, I'm going to pivot back to medications. Did you say you have medication cabinets throughout all the fire stations? Or it's just basic, they're not controlled substances?
No.
Okay.
They just have your EMS consumables in them, and then they're locked cabinets. So if it's a non-controlled substance, we'll put those, and we're delivering supplies. We'll count those supplies, put those medications in there, lock it up until the rescue gets there. But definitely not controlled. That's a face-to-face.
Yeah, okay. That's all. I yield back to you, Chief. Thank you.
Jody?
Good afternoon, everyone. For the month of May, we had several events go on, some exciting events. One of our first events was where we welcomed into service truck number 1. We had the wet down program at the Lithia Springs Senior Center, and we followed that with the push-in at station number 1. Our second event, which took the whole month of May, and it was really exciting, was our first annual EMS football game, softball game and picnic. That was a lot of fun. I attended that and really enjoyed it. One of our other events that we had was a presentation at headquarters regarding the issues of hazing in the fire departments or other workplaces. Deputy Chief Phillips presented a slideshow regarding how hazing can be such a negative impact in the work field, how dangerous the outcomes could be, and ways to improve those actions. And then lastly, we had our Fire Chief Citizen Award. That went to Chad Griffin. He's helped a lot with our helping our department find vendors and supplies, chairs and stuff like that. And it was a big help during our first EMS softball game. And then we also had a couple of graduates from our Gypstick program. We had Joel Robinson and
Michael Jeffcoat.
yes. So that was exciting. Our admin team, some of us went down there and watched that graduation, and that was really fun. It was really cool to see their, where they trained at and all the stuff that goes on there.
So what's the exciting news with the Georgia Burn Foundation?
Oh, yes. So we had a presentation with them as well, which I had no idea anything about it, where they come out and the boot donations. You see people standing out of Walmart and stuff like that, giving donations. So they help families and children that's been burned in fires and stuff, and donations of people that's been burned.
Yeah, the director told us a story about when he was 12, 14 years old.
Yes.
He got burned really, really bad, and it wasn't a dry in the room, and he was talking about his passion for helping other people. Not only do they help burn victims, they help their families and that nature. Because he was saying that if you get burned, then your whole family is a victim because everybody got to deal with it. So we're excited for Douglas County to be involved with the foundation. We're going to be doing all we can to help support the foundation so we can support our communities. And our goal is, how much is our goal?
$100,000.
$100,000. That's our goal, and we can meet that easily. And so we're planning some activities. And lastly, in closing, what I like to say is, Chief Farmer, can you tell us about the activity we're planning to help our Georgia burn victims, as well as our incentives for our EMS people?
I'm excited about this. So June the 18th, Keller Williams Realty has put together a charity event to provide funds for the Burn Foundation and for firefighter wellness and health initiatives and appreciation. So it's going to be a 60-40 split for the proceeds. 60% will go towards the Burn Foundation, 40% will go to firefighter appreciation, recognition, those type of events. So we're excited about it. We've got 10 individuals that are going to compete in firefighter games, and then the agents from Keller Williams are going to try to get donations for their firefighter, and then they'll compete on the 18th. And this is going to be fun. It's going to be kid-friendly events such as like sack races, cornhole, stuff like that. So if you're not doing anything, the 18th is going to be a lot of fun. And y'all know how firemen are. They're all competitive. So it's going to be good.
I turn it back over to Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. We had a very.
Sorry.
You have the floor, Commissioner. You have the floor.
I don't know if you heard, but I and some others went out to Mirror Lake, Winston, and Fairplay. Was it First Responders Day or something, a week or something like that? Chick-fil-A in Billerica donated some Chick-fil-A sandwiches, and we took them out to those 3 stations. And that was just a thrill to, talk with the firemen one-on-one, and they were very appreciative.
Oh yeah, they love. They would never ask for that kind of stuff, but they appreciate it more than people know. They really do.
Well, Chick-fil-A is the one that donated the chicken, and that was off of Mirror Lake Boulevard over there. But we visited the 3 stations in District 4, and that was so much fun.
They appreciate that. They really do.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Commissioner Guider. Certainly want to yield opportunity or provide opportunity for our committee members if someone wanted to add to what's been said today or you have some remarks. I see your camera on, Deputy Chief Allen. Do you have any announcements or something you'd like to say? Deputy Chief Allen.
Actually, I just found out today, Chief, one of our fire inspectors actually passed his firefighter practical today. He has one more test to take, but Wesley Corkle, who's our inspector, actually did what I did back in March, and he passed his firefighter practical today. I was just informed of that just a few minutes ago.
Oh, very good. Congratulations in advance. I'm telling you, not even in advance, after the fact. He is passed, so that's good. He passed the exam. And based on what you shared with me, Deputy Chief, or should I say Chief Allen, you said there's a lot of rigor involved with that. Is that the one that had the physical fitness, or is more?
Yes, ma'am. It's for somebody like myself who hadn't done that in a long time. It's a lot of physical rigor on that. My knees were talking to me on that one.
Oh, okay. So,
but well after the fact.
Okay, so that means congratulations, Mr. Corkle, on your achievement. All right, thank you, Chief Allen. All right, Deputy County Administrator Perry.
Yes, Madam Chair, nothing to add. Just want to commend the chief and the deputy chiefs for just a job well done for, just transforming the fire department and taking it up another level. When Chief Jolivet took over for Chief Spencer, who had been with us and served valiantly for a number of 40 years, I believe. It's tough coming in after that. You got large shoes to fill. Chief, my hat's off to you. You've taken things to another level. Folks are getting their certifications, and our firefighters are looking good. They look fit to fight, and my hat is off to you guys. That's it, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. And Communications Director David Good, any update on the fire station in Fairplay? I know renovation is moving. If you could give us an update, provide me.
I'm sure Deputy Chief Allen probably can give a better update than I can, but I do know that right now everything is basically a go. Gordian is starting out, so that's definitely a project that we have been happy to hit, because at one time this was not on the list, but because of safety and the fact that we wanted to make sure that our firefighters in Douglas County have the best of the best, so they can actually provide the best services. That was a project that we definitely needed on there. Madam Chair came out there, Chief came out, Deputy Chief came out. We took pictures, and then we were able to get everything going with Atlas providing some of the pieces of it, and then now it's Gordian taking it on. So that's where we are right now. And then when it comes to fire station number 9, I know that it's official that we can put a 4-bay on that location. And right now they are going out to doing the survey. They finished the survey. Now they're going to be out for design. And so once design is up, then by sometime by the end of the year, we probably will start constructing. We'll know then the exact amount it'll cost. Right now, we know we're looking at $450 per square foot. And I can't remember what the final numbers are. I know that Chief Jolivet's going to get that to Madam Guider, but I believe that it's somewhere north of 5.7 million. I believe it's closer to 8. So we do have that right now in our numbers. That's why Chief is slowing down. But with the amount of money that we're getting in, 3.2 million back in March, 2.9 million for April, and if we keep that numbers going, then we should have no problem in building fire station number 9 and getting to the projects that such as new ambulances and all the ladder truck and engines. We should have no problem as long as our numbers keep going. But our first responsibility will be fire station number 9, because we know we promised the community as well as the business owners out in that area that we will build it.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
I see your hand raised, Chief. Fire Chief.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say, without our Deputy County Administrator Perry's support and without the Commission support, where will we be? And then that, I mean, it's a blessing. It's refreshing. Every time we get a chance to let you all know that we appreciate what you do for the community, for us, and for all the departments. Really, just want to let y'all know we don't take it like things y'all do to help enhance what we're doing. So I just want to just add that to the thing.
Okay, thank you so much, Fire Chief, for that. And Deputy Chief Allen, certainly we talked about the fire station in Fairplay, and Communications Director David Good said, for the SPLOS, that you would have a better handle on what's going on at that station. And I know your staff is excited. They're dancing in the streets. Can you tell us a little bit about the excitement for that station in Fairplay?
Yes, ma'am. For those that don't know, I do live out there. I've been out there for the past 21, almost 22 years. So speaking to the people that actually live in that station on a daily basis, they're very excited. They're actually looking forward to this renovation, to this makeover to happen, and they're just ready for the shovel to hit the ground and get everything going. Not just for the beautification of the station, but because the two schools are there, because they do get a lot of visitors that come through there, travel through there. They want to make it safe for them, and the kids love the fire trucks. They really do. So they're really excited about this happening.
Great, thank you so much, Deputy Chief
Oh, yeah, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm looking at the numbers, I'm thinking, Madam Chair, when I look at the numbers, the amount before was 5.7, and because of the increase in cost, it went up another 2.8. So we're looking at about 8.6 million for the fire station number 9 to make it a 4-bay. And then the equipment that will go into it, that's still going to be on the charts for it. I know it's supposed to be a ladder truck, a heavy rescue, an ambulance, and an engine. Yeah, fire truck, a ladder truck, a heavy rescue, and an ambulance.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Director for the SPLOS. Okay, Mr. John Reed, if you could just briefly give us something, your input. As on the back of our trucks, we always ask, how are we doing? You have an opportunity. You can certainly compare us to others because you're all in the Metro Atlanta area. Can you
yes,
let us know what you think? How are we doing? Is that a good question for him, Chief? Fire Chief?
Yes.
Yes, that's a great question. From the outside looking in, you all looking great. I'm looking at other departments around the metro area. You're doing quite well. A lot of departments have a lot of issues, but all the issues that Douglas County have right now, they're addressing them and quite well.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other input? Well, it is now 3:09. We spent about an hour and 9 minutes in the meeting. It was quite productive today. I would like to personally thank the Fire and EMS team and also your entire, all your leaders, directors, your command staff, even in your team, the firefighters and the paramedics and EMTs, your whole team that makes all of us have to pull together and make this happen. Thank you so much, Commissioner Guida, who serves as our vice chairman of this committee. I've seen a lot of movement and great things happening. Thank you, Rosalind Miller, for making sure you keep us at bay in terms of where we should be with our numbers and checkbook. That's important. And then also our new chief, fire and EMS chief, has just hit the ground. Well, she's the EMS chief and has hit the ground running. Very impressive. And then all the new members on the team. So I'm appreciative as serving as chairman of this committee, and I'm telling you, I've seen us, we've made some huge strides, and I can't say nothing but congratulations. And if there's nothing else to come before us, and Chief, I see your hand. There you go.
Just one last thing. We're looking forward to our continued relationship with Chief Reed, his experience, his leadership. In fact, he's out networking right now out in New Orleans. A lot of the chiefs across the country, EDI. Mm-hmm. So we're looking forward to working with him to help improve what we're doing. So just want to say thank you to Chief Reed again.
All right. Chief Reed, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. If there's nothing else to come before this committee, this meeting is adjourned, and enjoy the rest of your